Okay. Good evening and happy Monday, everybody. I'm so delighted that you're choosing to join us this evening. I'm Sharron Rankin. If I haven't had a chance to meet you, where I am a 35-year veteran, so to speak, with the Juice Plus company, and started out to make a few extra $100 a month, and it turned into way more than that. Certainly something that has made a significant difference in our family's life. So I'm thankful that you guys are here. Welcome. I always believe that your choice to be in our team call on a Monday night says so very, very much about your commitment to not only growing yourself, but growing your business and touching and changing people's lives. So each week when we come together as a team, it is to, and our purpose is to keep our focus on the mission, which is, and it's a life-changing mission, whether you think about it or not, which is inspiring healthy living around the world. And as the Mission Possible team, that's what you're a part of, the Mission Possible team is a growing team of inspired individuals who are ambassadors and agents for change. And we're dedicated to creating a healthier, more prosperous life for as many as possible. And I know that each time when we come together, that these calls are designed for our growth and our inspiration to help us be better at what we do. And tonight you're going to be so glad that you chose to be with us this evening. So let me just introduce to you our special speaker tonight, and just a little bit how I met Kim, and just the journey of relationship that we had. That's what I love about our community, is the people that we meet along the way, for sure, and the relationships that we get to have. But Kim Douglas is a national marketing director, but even before being a national marketing director, she had a 28-year career, college professor career. She's a writer, and she's a published author, well-spoken, very articulate. And Kim says that her mission now is to inspire transformation, and I want to say this correctly because it's so inspiring, to inspire transformation, healthy living, and the advancement of women around the world. She is a mother, and she has 4 adult daughters, 2 bonus daughters. We always love those bonus children and bonus grandchildren, but 2 bonus daughters, and then the grandmother of 4 grandsons. She and her husband, David, just celebrated 30 years of marriage, and they live in the Grand Rapids, Michigan area. And I actually met Kim a few years ago at the Cherry Festival boot camp. I think we were in a small group together. Yeah. And this is really, I've seen Kim, I knew about her, but the first time we'd had a chance to visit and have a stronger connection. And so just the other day, a couple weeks ago, I reached out to Kim on Voxer a while back, something that she has said, and I really believe that Kim I value and appreciate how articulate she is in the voice of where we are right now in our communities and our family of inclusiveness, and really making our mission available to all. And so I reached out to her and acknowledged her comments in one of the NMD chats, and then we just struck up a conversation again. So Kim, thank you so much for being with us this evening. And I would love for you to share your story. And then I would like to share after your story, is to share with our team how we came to this call tonight and what you shared with me. So welcome, Kim.
Well, thank you so much, Sharron. And everyone, thank you for taking time away from your life to your life, because the Juice Plus business, I think, becomes such a wonderful part of our life. And yet most of us, when we start, life is full. We might be raising kids. We have a lot going on. So you're showing up, like Sharron said, is really showing your commitment to this mission and to making a difference for others. So I'm honored to be here. I admire you so much, Sharron. I'm so glad to call you a friend, and you've been a mentor of mine. So thank you for having me on the call. And my story begins 18 years ago. And at that time, I was really pretty happy in my life. I, had gone through graduate school. I had a teaching job. I was a professor at a small liberal arts college. I was married, and we were raising our children, and I had always dreamed to get married to a great man and to have children. So I was living the dream. And there were really only 2 pain points. and I was worried about them a lot. I lost a number of young friends and family members to cancer. One of my closest friends, Sarah, left behind 13-month-old twin daughters. And I still get chills when I think of Sarah, because we had dreamed together of being moms someday. And to go to her funeral was the hardest thing I ever did. And it was one funeral of many. It was like a season. I felt like I was going to a funeral a month. And the parents of people my age were there burying their children who were in their late 30s and 40s. My brother-in-law was one of those people. So I was really affected by this. I started having nightmares that I might be next. And, you know, what did I need to do? I was praying about, what do I need to do to protect my health? Because I want to be here to meet my grandkids someday. And so that was one challenge. The other challenge was that I spent a whole lot of money going to school to become a professor. And I had some student loans to pay back, and we had some debt. And teachers, my husband's an educator, I was an educator, we like, professor has prestige, but not the paycheck to match. So I was like, what is this? Here I am. I thought I'd be way ahead in my life financially. I'm in some debt. Every time we get ahead, something happens and we're set back again. And so I knew, well, I got to do what everybody else in education does. I got to moonlight. I got to find a part-time job to supplement my income. So those two things were going on. And I'm a prayer person. I show up to prayer every morning, and I'm into meditation, as I mentioned. And I was really praying about this. And it just so happened, I think by the grace of God, that I was at a professional conference for women in South Bend, Indiana. And I met a doctor there, and she was giving a presentation on whole food nutrition. And I met her in the lobby, and she said, you should come. So I went to this presentation, and to now speed up the story, I learned from her we all need 7 to 13 servings of raw produce a day, a wide variety, not just here and there, but every single day. And when we don't get that, you know, we put our health at risk. And she shared a whole lot of information, but I got that, and I got that she recommended something called Juice Plus plant powders. And it had research, and I taught research. And so I went running up to her afterwards. I was like, do you have any of those capsules on you? Because I needed this 10 years ago. I'm late to the game. And she got me started, and I signed up to become a representative to get the best cost. We wanted to get our kids on the health study. My husband was like, yeah, let's add this to our food budget. It's a need, not a want. He's the real practical one. And we got going, and our health improved. I had more energy. More vitality. I also just felt the security that I was getting what I needed every day. And my kids were getting what I needed every day. So the business, I didn't think I was going to do anything with the business, but Dr. Corson was so smart. She had me at a boot camp a week later. And at that boot camp, it was the Traverse City, one where I met you, Sharron. This was, 18 years ago. I was like, whoa, these are some amazing people. Wow, these are some amazing stories. Maybe I could make an extra $500 a month. And that was the beginning of getting more excited about it. And I had really no desire to become a national marketing director. I had the I'm too cool syndrome, a professor. And but I noticed that when I go to a Juice Plus conference, I came back joyful and happy and uplifted. And the faculty and staff meetings at the college, I'd come home and I complained to my husband, it's so toxic there. Everybody's backbiting and gossiping. I can't stand it. All I do is I like my students. I can't stand the atmosphere. And he said to me one day, why don't you just build up your Juice Plus business and leave that world? And I was like, yeah, maybe I could do that. So I made the commitment to move forward. I had some personal growth to do, which is a lot of this business. And I became a national marketing director. And I should say we became a national marketing director, because I think this is a business where you have to throw the I away. You learn to lean on people, you learn to be supported, you learn to learn and be coachable, and you learn that it's team that gets you there. The team of people that are above you and have gone before, and the team you invite in to join you to spread this mission. So that's my story. I love what I do, and I'm so grateful to be here.
Oh, thank you, Kim. Well said. Thank you. Very inspiring. I think you've touched a lot of other people's pain points as well in sharing your story. So when we were talking a few weeks ago, we were just having a friendly chat, but you just shared a little bit how, as we all from time to time hit either a plateau or maybe we go into management mode, we could call it stall or stuck, you can call it any number of things. But that happened to you as a national marketing director. I think sometimes people think when we get to NMD, oh, it's, it's always perfect and always good, but there are still challenges and there's still areas of growth. So tell me about that point when you realized that you were just kind of at a flat line and you needed to do some digging in. So tell us what you did.
Oh, yeah, I went through a 2-year period where I have to say I'm so grateful to be an NMD and that my paycheck kept coming in every month. But I was a little bit down. I was being hard on myself. I was questioning my leadership capacity. I was stuck. I was doing some management, and a couple of my team members really didn't like that. They were like, let me grow, let me breathe, give me some space. And then I got hurt when they said that to me. And I was going through also some physical challenges at the time. I do have a bone condition that, I live with, and I've lived with for a long time. And so sometimes I go through periods where I might have a fracture that I'm recovering from. So it was just this period where when I look back, Sharron, I don't know if you've ever felt this way, but sometimes those periods when you're going through them, you wonder why. And then when you get through them, and I do a lot of leaning on God and, okay, what am I supposed to grow? What do I need to learn from this? And I realized that period of time was really valuable. I really had to dive deep into my soul and myself and get clear on my commitment and what living inside a commitment means, and what being strong enough and having enough grace and growth to be able to respond to all kinds of reactions from people, and to take a little bit more hands off, let my team be, instead of, it's much easier to manage than to grow your own business, or so I thought. And so, yeah, it was a really ripe period, but a difficult period. And now, I'm grateful I went through it. And I do think it's good for all of you to hear that. Sometimes we compare ourselves and we think, oh, well, they're an NMD, or, oh, they're in leadership, or, oh, they were a 5,000 club member. They'd never understand this. But we all go through things. That's part of the life journey. And those things are designed for our growth.
That's so true. So well said. And I know you said that when you were digging in and this getting clear on your commitment, you said you revisited what brought you joy and what brought you inspiration from the beginning of your business. And it really was about the children.
Yes,
so
it was.
Share with us. I'm just so excited for you to share really some of your results, but what was your process and your mindset? What did you start to do?
Well, I love the Healthy Starts for Families. And when I was like, okay, I'm through this little period of introspection, it's time to get going. What do I love? And I think that's such a great question to ask yourself. And I know one of my mentors, Cheryl Cortese, a friend of yours, she always says, do what you love. And I was like, I love the Children's Health Study. Now we call it the Healthy Starts for Families program. When I started the business, I just thought everybody needed to know about this program. And so I was remembering that. And I thought, I'm gonna lead with this. I'm gonna get back, roll up my sleeves, get to work. I'm ready to get to the next level. And I'm gonna lead with what I love, which what brings me so much joy to share, and I've changed so many lives from sharing it before. And so I began to reach out to people. And I was very assertive. I just sent, everybody texts today. So I would send several text messages a day to friends, to even canceled customers, to people that young and old. And I would just say, an example might be, hi, Mary, I'm reaching out to ask you a favor. I've set the goal of sharing the Healthy Starts for Families program I represent with 20 people this month. And I'm wondering if you would be open to learning about the details. Now, do you have 20 minutes? We could hop on Zoom. I'd love to catch up a little and share this amazing global program with you. Or something to that effect. And Sharron will send around the verbiage that I sent. And I just pretty much copied and pasted that verbiage and started sending out. And I had great responses. People said, sure, I'll jump on Zoom. Or I'm all about health. Yeah, when can we meet? And I started getting so busy, and I love one-on-one sharing. It's my favorite way to share. I find if I have a good one-on-one session with someone, they're more likely to accept an event invitation. They know a little bit more about our community. And I started doing these PowerPoint presentations. So let's say someone, like Sharron, let's say I had reached out to you. You weren't in Juice Plus. You're one of my friends. I reached out to you and you said, sure, I'll jump on Zoom. So we would get on the call together at the assigned time that we've created together. And I'd start out, we might catch up a little bit. And then I'd say, well, Sharron, before I get started, tell me, what are some of your health concerns or health goals? So the call, it's really important that the call becomes a conversation, not a presentation. I didn't want my friends to feel like I'm presenting at them. And so questions like that, everybody loves to tell you about their health concerns or goals. So I heard so many different things. And I said, well, thanks for sharing that. And if you don't mind, would it be okay? I'm so excited about this program and I can go every which way about it. And I created a little PowerPoint to keep me focused. Do you mind if I share the screen? Oh, no. And again, the reason I do that, I could just pull it up and, never ask that question, but it's a way to engage and it's respectful. And it just, again, makes it more conversational. So I pull that up. And the first few slides I go through, it's just the PowerPoint I condensed from the one that corporate sent us on thefreedomrevolution.com. And I think I even sent that to you, Sharron. I can't remember, but I can send along my shortened version and anybody can make their own. And so I share the background, the toxic environment and the toxic food. And I asked, have you been thinking about this too? Have you been concerned about our food and our environment? And, then they start talking. Sometimes I don't even have to ask that. They jump right in and they're sharing. And, then I go into fruits and vegetables and the 7 to 13 servings. And I say, I don't know about you, but I have always struggled. I know fruits and vegetables are important and, today we do pretty good, but back in the day when I was first learning about all this, I ate an apple and picked up scone and coffee on my way to work. It's just like, do you struggle with getting your fruits and veggies? And some of them are like, oh no, I'm a vegan. And I'm like, oh, you are so amazing. You're going to have to share with me all your tips. And others are like, yeah, I'm pulling my hair out, or I'm worried about my grandkids or my kids. So again, it's a conversation. And then when I get into the Juice Plus information, I go a little bit more quicker through the slides. It's less conversational. It's a little bit more, we got to get through this in 20 minutes. And I share that. And by then they're absorbing it and loving it. And people have, I get to the end, I have my wife for doing it. I have pictures of my 4 grandsons, my grown daughters. And, the children are the promise and guarantee of the future. And I don't know if you've heard the statistics, but 1 out of 3 Americans, that includes our kids, is pre-diabetic right now. And these are our future, these precious children and youth. And so this is my passion. I want my grandkids to grow up healthy. I want kids to be healthy. I want everyone to be healthy. And so people have been ordering, people have joined the team. I had a canceled customer who did this with me. And she's like, Kim, can you remind me why I canceled? Because I can't figure out why I canceled. And she's like, I really don't remember. I need to get back on this. And you know what? I do Reiki. Do you think I could like do this too and join your team? And, you know, so things like that have been happening. And, you know, one thing, I had a lot of my team were doing this together and we're loving it. And I had a team member, she reached out to me. She said, I'm trying the thing you're doing and I'm not getting good results like you are. What's up? And so I asked her questions. I said, well, how many people have you reached out to? And she said 3. And I know it's, you know, if you're new, maybe you think 3 is a lot, but believe me, 3 is not a lot. So I said, well, you know, I'm reaching out to about 10 people a day. That's 50 a week. And, you know, that's 200 a month. And I'm not even thinking about the people who didn't respond because I'm too busy having my one-on-one appointments. And so it literally takes, if you reach out, you know, to 5 people a day, it will take you 10 minutes, if that.
Right.
And that I think is, I don't know if any of you have ever felt like Juice Plus lives in your head. Did any of you ever feel like it's like, boy, you know, I got to get to it and you don't get to it and it's living in your head and you might be a little stressed. And why did I sign up for this program anyway? You know, why am I a rep anyway? And then you sit down and you do the do and you're like, why was I even stressed out about this? And I find that we're doing these 10-minute tasks on my team. And I just put up a post on our Facebook page and I say, take 10. Here's a customer care message and a nice little picture to send your customers. And, you know, you can reach out to 5 to 10 people in that time. You just copy and paste and send, and people like being connected to. They like being included. They like being thought of. And it's really doesn't take a whole lot of time. And wow, with this children's health study, I'll tell you, it's just so fun. It's brought, as you can see, the energy back, the joy back, the enthusiasm back, and the service back.
That is just, and so one of the things too, and I know that we've been going through the Add More Good, but I don't really believe that that was a part of your inspiration. It was just, you focused on the children's health study or the family health study is what brought you joy. The Add More Good was just a bonus in this. Is that what I'm hearing you say? Because that's really what I thought I heard you say.
Absolutely. And I'll continue on, you know, with this program. And I would like to say, because some people, they're like, well, what if people don't have kids? And I said, well, everybody's connected to kids in some way. Might be a Sunday school teacher, might be a grandparent, might be an aunt or uncle. I reached out to someone who's just celebrated her 80th birthday. And she said, sure, I'm all about health, you know. And we had a connection, and through the whole thing, she's like, oh, my granddaughter needs this. Can I sponsor? Am I allowed to sponsor someone? And, you know, she ordered and got her granddaughter enrolled. And now her son and daughter-in-law, they're like, well, maybe we should be on this. So it opens up. I've had referrals from it. A pharmacist got on it, and she said to me, can you reach out to my mother? Here's her phone number. She needs to know about this. I told her you'd call. Well, I love calling her. So I called her and she's like, oh, I want to do this. And could I become a partner? So I called my friend back, who's a pharmacist. I said, your mom wants to become a partner, so maybe you should. She could sign up under you. So she signed up, and now she has some friends in Australia that are interested. So you never know what can happen. The thing is to get into the field of activity and action. And You know, sometimes we have slumps, and I had a long one. I am so glad to be back in the real realm of action and joy and, you know, doing what I love to do every day.
Well, thank you. And I think one of the things that you said, Kim, the children are the promise and guarantee of the future.
Yeah.
To me, that is just a profound statement when we start to think about it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I don't know if you have any final words, and I will share this with you guys, Kim's notes from her calls and what she does. Kim, I cannot say thank you enough for taking the time to come and share your heart and what's bringing you joy. And one of the things I've been sharing with, especially with our leadership, is that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And what you've just shared with us tonight is exactly what we're saying here. Why you do this is the passion and the joy for creating healthy families and healthy children. So thank you. Thank you so much. So I'm going to put this back on gallery view. And if any of you guys want to unmute yourself and just express your gratitude to Kim, I hope you were as touched and inspired and reminded of our mission of what we're doing to touch and change lives. Thank you, Kim.
Hey, thank you so much.
That was
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Thanks
very much.
Thank you, Kim.
So
It
much.
was awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
We're grateful. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Appreciate you,
Really
friend.
appreciate it.
Appreciate you too. Have a great week, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.